At first glance, habeas corpus may seem unrelated to personal finance, but in reality, it is a cornerstone of financial security. The ability to work, earn, save, and invest depends on personal freedom. When that freedom is threatened, so is financial stability. An arbitrary government capable of detaining individuals without due process is also capable of seizing assets, controlling bank accounts, and creating financial chaos. The suspension of habeas corpus could transform the United States from a secure environment for economic growth into a landscape of fear and financial uncertainty. But first, what is habeas corpus? Habeas corpus is one of the fundamental legal protections for individual freedom in the United States. Guaranteed by Article 1, Section 9 of the United States Constitution, it ensures that anyone detained by the government has the right to challenge their detention in court. However, there have been instances in American history, such as during the Civil War and after the attacks of September 11, 2001, when the government has suspended habeas corpus. So, let's explore what would happen if the United States government decided to suspend habeas corpus again today, and how such a drastic decision could impact personal finances for ordinary citizens. If the United States government were to suspend habeas corpus, individuals could be detained without a court hearing or legal justification. This would fundamentally alter the balance between state authority and individual rights, leading to a climate of fear and uncertainty. People could be imprisoned without being formally charged with a crime, with limited ability to seek legal recourse. Such a situation would disproportionately affect marginalized communities and political opponents, but could also reach average citizens. This governmental overreach will have multiple economic impacts for regular people in the United States. And some of these impacts are: detained individuals would lose their jobs, leading to a sudden loss of income for their families. For many American families living paycheck to paycheck, this could mean an immediate financial crisis. Families of those detained might spend substantial amounts on legal representation, even though the suspension of habeas corpus limits their chances of success. Legal fees could deplete emergency funds and force families into debt. Loss of income combined with rising legal costs could lead to missed mortgage or rent payments, putting families at risk of eviction or foreclosure. Families would be forced to tap into their savings, including retirement accounts, just to survive. Those without sufficient savings could turn to high-interest loans, trapping them in a cycle of debt. Even for those not directly detained, fear of arbitrary detention would reduce productivity, as people focus on survival rather than career growth. Businesses might experience workforce shortages, and economic activity could decline. Before we continue, if this video is helping you understand the current socio-economic and political environment in the US and how this could affect you, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notification. Thanks. Now, let's go back to the video. Now, let's also talk about the long-term financial implications for society. Both domestic and foreign investors could lose confidence in the stability of the US legal system. Stock markets could decline, and interest rates might rise due to perceived political risk. The government would likely spend more on security and detention facilities, leading to higher taxes or reduced public services. Wealthy individuals with legal and political connections would protect themselves, while the middle and poor classes would be most vulnerable. This could accelerate economic inequality. In extreme cases, the government might introduce capital controls or freeze bank accounts to maintain order, severely limiting personal financial freedom. So, why should you be worried about this? Because the suspension of habeas corpus in the United States would have devastating personal and financial consequences for individuals and society. Beyond the loss of basic legal protections, it would trigger a cascade of economic harms: job loss, legal costs, housing insecurity, and a loss of financial confidence. For individuals, maintaining a diversified financial strategy, including an emergency fund and accessible savings, would be crucial for survival. But even the best prepared individuals would be vulnerable in a society where the rule of law no longer protects them. This potential scenario highlights the essential connection between legal rights and financial security, a connection often overlooked but never more critical than in times of crisis. But tell me, if the government suspended habeas corpus tomorrow, how prepared would your family be financially? What would be your first move? And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want more clear, no-nonsense financial information, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a new video.